Like FMF, it's pretty simple. It's a call for free, decolonized, socialist and black-centered education, basically to combat the education that we received, which is basically white-centered and capitalist and imperialist and all these things, patriarchal. It's basically to reteach our minds in a decolonized manner in order to create a new South Africa and a new Africa.
Then there's 3 more years left for me to be here. So then my views on fees must fall is after these 4 years of recruiting bursary, then I must pay out of my own pocket my tuition. And my mom and my dad doesn't have stable jobs. So then I don't know how I'm gonna get the money. So fees must fall is quite important to me.
It has to happen. There's no other way. Um, Moving towards an inclusive society, I think it's the way forward and it's the only way forward.
I think it's wonderful that students are exercising their right to protest and that they're fighting for what they believe to be.
We still live in a capitalist state where higher education is only for the privileged. Exorbitant university fees are a means of financial exclusion, which this university perpetuates. Many students, especially black students, cannot afford higher education. It is therefore vitally important that fees must fall.
I think that the fees must fall movement is a great idea. However, we need to come up with long-term resolutions to the continuous fee increases that are, affecting the financially crippled students instead of the violent protest.
I joined Fees Must Fall last year, firstly because it directly affected me, and secondly, besides the fact that it affected me, um, it's because it was a bigger movement. It was bigger than me. It was a cause that meant something that will stay and stick about our generation. It was about fighting against tertiary education being a privilege.
I'm for fees must fall, but I'm often scared to say that I'm against protest because I feel like it's taken up as me saying that I'm against equality and black people, which is not my heart. I am white, and generally the white culture is more non-confrontational, and therefore it scares me to think about protests because I just wasn't raised that way.
I believe free, quality education should be a right and not a privilege.
That the government is where most of the money is being wasted and where most of corruption is, and that the government can actually sponsor students to go to university for free, such as in a few overseas countries, but that should take some effort on their side to actually stop corruption.
Fees must fall is definitely necessary. It's all about ensuring the future, the academic future of all deserving people and not necessarily those who can afford it. I don't think education is something that is bought, but something that is worked for, and that's what Fees Must Fall is for me.
I was involved in Fees Must Fall last year because even though it didn't directly affect me as much as it did other students, I believe that education is a basic human right and it shouldn't be something that only a small minority of people have access to. This year, I hope that more people on our campus will be involved because as future healthcare workers, it should be in our inherent nature to care about other people and their basic human rights.
They told us we were free, but without education, we never were.